I'm just introducing the unit of attachment and the attachment booklet. I just want to show you how to use it and what I would expect you to do. Obviously, it'd be good if you could get these printed off and work in them, but an electronic is also fine, electronic copy. So here's the attachment booklet that I have attached on Teams. So if we just go through it here, sorry, that side, let's see if I don't know if I can make that a little bit better there for you, that second page. So this is just all the areas from the spec that you need to know about, and it's just to keep track really. And this is obviously, I've done this in the past because some people were being entered for AS, but you can ignore that column. But when you know what a definition of reciprocity is, when we've covered it, if you want to tick that, again, when you're secure with the knowledge with it, you can tick that if you're able to apply it, able to evaluate it, and so on. So that's just basically a quick overview of how that chart sort of works, and that's something that when I meet you properly we'll come back to, and I'll bring up every lesson so we can just double check. So first of all, again, we've got another spec check there, everything that you need to know. So moving on to the next page, here we've got some of the key terms there. So if you're not sure, the key terms are actually there. This is based on the Green Haired Girl book, so you should be able to pick all the terms up from there as well. But again, make sure there's 4 key terms here that you need to be aware of. And then we've got a little bit of information about the role of the main caregiver, and a little bit there about reciprocity and interactional synchrony. And the bit that I want you to look at here is this bit here where it talks about Meltzoff and more. And it tells you here about the piece of research, what they did and what they found. So that's the piece of research that you need to know about. And there's the piece of research there. Please make sure that you're okay with it. You know that it's a controlled observation. You don't have to know it in as much detail as you would, for example, a study like Milgram or Zimbardo, but just make sure that you've got some idea of it, mainly so that you can evaluate it. So, for example, the observations were recorded on videotape. What might be the problem with this, and so on. We've got observers. We've got several observers. Why would that be good? What would that do? So thinking about reliability and inter-observer reliability and so on. So here we've got some of the evaluations here of, if you like, that research. But not just that research, also problems with testing infant behaviour. So one of the things I'm going to be asking you to do next is to create 3 or 4 peel points for infant caregiver interactions. And again, there is something here that's quite important that we need to remember, that we've got this research by Meltzoff and Moore, but individual differences. One feature is that there are massive variations between what babies, infants will do. So for example, Isabella here in 1989 found that more strongly attached infant caregiver pairs show greater interactional synchrony. So that causes problems because we can't actually generalise what Meltzoff and Moore found to all infants, because some infants are more likely to attach in a stronger way and therefore potentially show higher levels of interactional synchrony. And again, we've got some exam questions at the end here, if you can try to answer those. This one, if we think about it in terms of a 16 mark rather than a 12 mark, but I usually use this to introduce, do it quite early on in the year, so I do get a lot of students doing 12 marks for that. So just to go through this, we've just got, again, 2 marks here. You just say what it is and possibly try to give an example. Here, the same. This study would be Meltzoff and Moore. If you want to use another that you found, that would be fine. And here, it actually would be very straightforward. You'd have a paragraph defining reciprocity, a paragraph defining interactional synchrony, an outline of research would be Meltzoff and Moore, and then an evaluation of that research. So it is actually quite straightforward. So hopefully you've got a little bit more idea there of how this booklet actually works and how you should be able to use it. Any problems, just get back to me, and thank you for listening.